Alright, so here I am in the casita, ready to try taking a shower again. Has the drain been fixed? Nope, sure has not. That drain right there does not drain. And the way I'm going to fix it is by getting an angle grinder in here and cutting that entire pipe out and going outside and cutting it out there. And instead of a 1/2-inch tube, putting in a 6-inch tube or something just way oversized so that it can never get clogged, because this thing has been a pain since 2004. And I've dumped, muriatic acid in it, many bottles of it, and that has not helped. It sometimes has helped get it unblocked for a tiny bit of time, but then it doesn't work again. So I haven't taken a shower forever, because that's the only working shower I have with hot water. It is sunny out, which is nice. I'm going to go out and plug in the pump so that water goes up into the tank. I don't know how much water is in that tank, and normally I'm very careful about whether I plug this in or not. In fact, I should have shut down my computer. It's downloading some crap, but because I don't want to overload my tiny system, right? But we'll risk it. So we'll plug this guy here in. Now I could climb up a ladder. Oh shit, there's no power down here because it's off up at the lodge. I already had to walk back to get my clothes and my tripod because I forgot them. God damn it. It's really helpful to have a shower where you live, or at least near it. To walk like 150 yards every time I forget something. And I really think I should pump that water. It's a perfect day for it, and I'm already going to be down here anyway. So I got to make sure I have my keys so I don't lock myself out. Once again, it's always risky living alone with no backup. I don't even have phone signal down here. I don't have phone signal up at that building up there. I have a phone now, although I think the timing on it's run out by now. All right, so I'm walking back up, right? Yep, walking back up. All right, well, I'll take you with me. This will probably be another rambling video, but, you know, whatever. Okay, I have my keys. I'm not going to lock myself out. I don't even have to lock this door, I don't think. I like to be in the habit of locking things, though. God, that's scary. I should hide some keys somewhere. I should hide like a whole set of keys in some really, really well hidden spot. You know? That'd be bright. I could bury them even. I've got shovels sometimes I leave out, so yeah, that would be bright. Oh. Going through here is really interesting because we've cleared out some pines in here over time. That's about all of them. We're not going to clear out anymore. And that big pine up there is going to reseed this all with pines anyway. There's already baby pines over there, but it'll also fill in with oaks, so it's okay. But I did want to point out over here a spot where I have a whole bunch of baby oaks, or relative, well, adolescent, whatever. I don't know how you measure the age of an oak. Pines. This pine tree has died. And I don't think it was lightning. They were just really dense in there. And so you have to thin them out if you want some of them to do well. And like that one over there is going to die. It's looking pretty sad. All the light's getting taken by other trees. And we've already thinned this out. I had a friend who wanted some poles, some oak poles to build something, a roof or something. Also, he can sell those. So as a trade, look, there's another dead one in there. There's 2 dead ones. I should get those out of there and use them for firewood probably, and also clear all that out. That's an old rabbit raising area, rabbit raising courtyard, which all of the animal setups I have to all change. Everything has to have a really tall wall, like this tall, or stuff is going to get killed. I get stuff killed, not all the time, but when I've raised animals here, I've had a lot of stuff die, and that's a bummer, you know. Especially for the animal, I suppose, but I'm going to kill it anyway if it's a rabbit. If it's a chicken, it can live, you know, a little longer, but Anyway, so the point is that too much density, if you don't do some forestry, those trees are just going to die on their own anyway. They're also going to suddenly fall over, you know, which is not good. There used to be a big, huge coolacan tree right here, really big, and it got hit by lightning and died. It's really cool because the lightning split the bark along the trunk way down it. But it had two trunks up on the top. It kind of looked like, you know, something kind of sexy. And I left it there. It was so cool for so long. But then eventually it just broke pieces off and it fell down and squished this fence over here. And in that case, it did eventually all fall down altogether, but it did not fall in that little building over there, which is good. But you just can't trust pines and buildings. I've learned that over and over. In here, I've got pines that are too dense right now, and this is potentially could be some camping in there and things like that. So that's another case where I should go through it, clear out the smallest ones. Yep, there's one in here that's dead too. It just got too crowded out. And then anything leaning anywhere near the building gets taken down. Anything leaning that direction gets taken down, like that one over there. And even that one that's leaning that way is far from the building, but it's going to keep getting bigger. It's not even that, it's only like this big around right now. This big around. Distance to the camera, distance to my head. And so I'm not against having a pine grove right here at all. It's a great spot for one, and I want to keep it. But I should decide which pines to keep. You know, like this pine right here is really great. There's a bunch of tiny ones I could just clear out. Nobody would even remember them. Shame for them, I guess. But that's how it goes. This one's leaning over the road. It will eventually fall that way, but it'll just hit other pines. What do I care? I don't. Over here we've got a nice case of a tree. This is a grafting where we grafted on the hawthorn. And in this case, you see these little suckers coming off the edges or whatever. This one didn't work, it died. This one over here did work. And so you see the hawthorn down here is growing back. We're going to cut all those off. But up here, the leaf is different. And that's probably pear or quince. Hopefully it's pear. I got tons of quince, so I don't even like quince. But the thing that the to-do item here is to go in with a knife and chop off those hawthorn pieces that are growing off the sides. In that case. I've been avoiding taking a shower. The last shower I took was before April. It's now March. Well, geez, that might be a good excuse to wait another 15 days to make sure I went a year. But that's all right. I feel disgusting. I did wash my feet yesterday, and I have washed my feet a couple times. But it's hot out again, and I'm going to start wearing sandals again. So foot washing becomes more important. And in general, I mean, I can feel like skin just peels off me. You know, if it's a hot day or something. And that's disgusting. I can peel skin off my forehead sometimes. So I don't think it's a health problem. I have gotten some scratches and cuts and things, but not any more than normal. I'm getting more active again, and I'm out on trails and things with a machete, and that gets me scratched up because I'm not very careful. I just don't care. It's probably good for my immune system to get small cuts anyway. So I can't really see that I've gotten unhealthy from not taking a shower. I think I've proven my point. Not that I set out to do that. Once I build a better sauna, I'll get clean every week, you know? It'll be a solar evacuated tube heated sauna, so it's always on. It's always hot. And then I'll have a firebox, which I'll have a space that I'm going to put it later. I'm going to see how hot it gets just with the solar, because it might get hot enough. Hey, drop that. Drop it. Drop it. That is a dead mouse that my dog Frida has. Hi. That's mine. Not yours. No, you can't hide it. She's trying to hide the dead mouse. I hope it's dead. Don't bite me. No! God damn it. Let go of that. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Now get away. It's mine. And it's disgusting. This is a dead mouse right here. And it's not freshly dead either. What am I going to do with this fucking dead mouse? I'll put it in this terrarium. And I'll rot it. That's probably seems gross to you, but whatever. Yep, there it is. I'm gonna wash my hand. Sorry, honey. I don't want you messing around with that dead mouse. And I'll put some dirt in that terrarium too. That would be good. I don't like touching a dead mouse. Fucking wash my hands. I got these crystals in my window finally. They're pretty great. They make little rainbows go through the building. Although I think I have to move them a little bit to the right. And I actually want to build an entire building where all of the light that enters the building has to go through a prism. Otherwise it's dark. So that's the only light that comes in. And I'm not sure how many prisms to do, and then paint the walls white. And maybe paint them an extra bright white. Or, I don't know, something. But so that all those rainbows are in there. And you can see them. If I want to get romantic, I could put a bed in there. But I'm imagining a pretty dang small space. That would be pretty cool. Or it could have like a couch around the edge. It could be a circle. And then it could have all these crystals that at different times of the day let that light in and it all turns into rainbows. That'd be pretty cool. What am I up here looking for? What did I forget? That was a long time ago. What did I forget? Let's see. Oh, I forgot to turn the electricity on in that whole building. I don't even need to be in here. So I can pump water. That's right. I didn't check if I have water or not. I might. It's gravity fed after it gets pumped. So. Oh, and then I was going to shut this all down because I have so little electricity that I'm afraid with the pump. And then with that thing out there that I actually won't have enough. All right, I'll shut the computer off. I'll shut the internet off. In theory, I'm now using no electricity at all, except for charging a couple LED things. I could just shut off the entire lodge circuit. I don't see any point in that. Although I think I will test it, because that will also tell me if anything in the casita is on. I'll show you what I mean. There's some details about living on solar power, and I suppose it depends on what setup you got. I've seen videos online where people have these massive setups, and mine is just tiny, tiny, tiny. I'll show it to you right now. And so that's, okay, I've got my keys. I didn't need anything else up here. I've got clothing, so I can wear it on the way back. I don't have to wear my disgusting clothing, because that's the other thing is, not only have I not taken a shower, if I was to look back on all the videos I've done over the last year, I suspect I've only worn like 4 shirts in the last year. That might be underestimating. Don't trust my numbers. I tend to exaggerate. Oh God, I hate going on ladders. Absolutely hate it. Here's my new battery bank down there. That's pretty exciting. Those are all hooked up. And then in here I've got my Xantrex DR series inverter charger. I'm going to shut off the lodge circuit. Internet should be off. Why is the internet on? And that's not really the internet anymore. It's actually a different whole building where internet used to be. Okay, now it should, in theory, not have load and should turn off. It didn't. That means that my overcharge protection thingy is set too high. Wait a minute, is it that one or this one? No, search mode. I want search mode. And I want search mode is currently on max. I'm going to turn it down. Unfortunately, all these buttons aren't built very strongly on this Xantrex inverter, and so they kind of don't last as long as I want. I mean, I've had this since 2006, and now it's 2023. So ideally, I want to turn that. Some needle nose pliers. There's no fucking button left almost. It'll also help if I have my glasses on. Yeah, I can't even grab it. Not that it's important to turn off, really. Maybe I'm trying to turn it the wrong way. I am. There we go. See that? The buzzing stopped, and there's not enough electricity to kick it off now. So I'm going to try turning the lodge on, and the circuit didn't come on. That means that I have it set to defeat at too high a level, or right, I need too much things wanting it. I'm going to go slow on this. So I'm adjusting. Just going to adjust it till it comes on. Oh, but I turned it off inside. And if it's off inside, see, this is a bad test. And I can do this test later. Fuck. All right, so I'm going to turn all the way back to defeating it. It comes back on. I turn on the casita. No, I'll turn it back to defeat. Wait a minute, I'll turn all the way on to defeat. There we go, it's off. Turn on the casita. This would imply that at least there is not enough load, and there shouldn't be any in the casita. There's not enough load to trigger it to go on. That's great. And then I'll turn this back down to here and not worry about it. Okay, I should have enough for the pump now. Well, that's interesting. It's going on and off. That would imply there is some small load in the casita. I'll turn this off and see if it does the same thing. There's a tiny load in the casita. That's very educational, because there should be zero. Something is plugged in down there. It could be a 1 watt light bulb. Okay, well, we'll check when we get down there. I do want to get more solar panels. This is a 1500 watt inverter. It can handle up to 1500 watts. And so I want to get 1500 watts of panels. And that should run things quite nicely. And that's 5 times what I have now. Plus, if I got all new panels, then they would work better, because my panels are quite old. And then I could still use these panels for other things. I really don't want to fall off a ladder. I just don't have any space for any fuck-ups of any kind. Dog water's out. That's annoying. Fuck. There's just so much shit to do around here that I can't do it all. I have to figure out a way to have other people here that are more useful than they are costly, which is hard to figure out. Very hard. Come on, you fuck. Hose is crimped. Okay, a little bit of water's coming out. Dogs are always supposed to have water. Should get checked every goddamn day. It's not a problem in the rainy season. In the rainy season, I can just have places where the gutters leak and then stick a tin under it, some kind of container. And there's plenty of them, water. But I also need water out here for birds and stuff as well, which reminds me that this thing is supposed to have a stick in it so that birds have a place to land, which it doesn't right now. I'll put this rock in there for the moment. The other thing is lizards have to have a way to, if they fall in, have a way to crawl out. Ideally, what I really want here is I want sources of water for birds all throughout the forest. So I've got, for example, 2 roofs right up there that don't capture any water right now. And those should be doing full rain capture. Every roof should be. And right now I'm capturing off of less than 15% of my roofs. And I'm only storing probably 15% of what that roof provides. That'd be optimistic. All right, so we got water in that guy. Dirty, disgusting water for dogs to drink. Oh well. God damn it. Where'd that fall off of? Oh, it fell off the roof. It was windy lately. It's another reason I like taking showers is because it takes hours to even try. And last time I tried to take a shower, I failed because the shower head was blocked. And I already know the drain is blocked. And then I had somebody after that try and clear it. They said they failed, which was no surprise. Any fixes we've had to it have been temporary before anyway. But I'm going to take a shower even without a drain, even if I end up standing in dirty water, which actually hopefully doesn't have any more of that muriatic acid in it, because I don't want to stand in muriatic acid. I don't know what happens to muriatic acid if it just sits there for a while. If I'm lucky, maybe somehow muriatic acid ate through the blockage in it will actually drain, but I doubt it. So the goal is to get in, shower, and get out fast. And that is what I'm going to do. That's what I have to do anyway to save water. But this time of year, with just me here, I have plenty of water. I do not have a water shortage despite it being the dry season. And despite that it's going to be another 3 months before I get a good rain. And even then, it won't be super rainy, but that's okay. Things fill up pretty quick. I should make a budget, actually, a calculation of if I was capturing water off of every single roof I have. There's a formula for this, right? Per square meter of footprint or per square foot footprint that you have of rain capture, and then take out some for lack of efficiency or messed up gutters, because I need to buy all metal gutters, big square metal gutters, so that I don't have these little PVC pieces of crap that I have now. And I can actually calculate how much rain I could capture. And I have a pretty extreme graph here. Since rain isn't constant, I have to collect enough when it's the rainy season. I mean, I could calculate how long it would take me to fill up those up, I guess. And at that point, all during the rainy season, they're always going to be getting topped off. So that's irrelevant, right? Although it would be nice to fill them, get all the rain. I mean, so I could do a couple calculations. I could do how long does it take to fill it up, and then to what level, and then how does it taper off, the rain, and then to when could I have water. And then I could calculate like what level of water use I could have, and I could have a lot of water. But the key is storing the water is expensive. Any water storage system is going to cost. And so that's a thing where I would try and look for a sponsor, somebody I could promote, although, you know, that's not the sexiest topic for most people. Most people don't even care. I responded to a lady online today, and she's proud of her 55-gallon drum of water she's collecting, and she should be. But that's, you know, rain barrel catchment is just nothing really. I mean, it's fine. Doesn't hurt anything. But anyway, so those kind of calculations would be really fun to play with on a spreadsheet. I could publish it, and then people can tell me I'm doing my math wrong, which I would be. I'm not really that good with math. I prefer spreadsheets. And it doesn't matter anyway. I'd find out how little I'm collecting now in comparison to what I could. And that would be an exciting thing to learn. All right, we're back at the casita. All right. God. All right, I have shorts. I paid a lady to sew my various pairs of shorts up. And it turns out I have quite a few pairs of shorts, cargo shorts. It's just that all of them were ripped over time. Like my keys, you know, they rip holes in the pockets. All these clothings are made too weak for my lifestyle. I mean, of course I, wear things for decades. Anyway, I still have shirts from the 80s. Not very many, but I think that's why one of my girlfriends told me that I dress like I'm from the 80s, because sometimes I do. Okay, this is good. I already cleaned my feet, so that saves me some time. I left this back door open. It's not good. Oh, man. The sauna would be the real fix here. That's the real fix I got to do. Make it easy to get clean. And then I can use cold water for the shower, and nobody wastes cold water in the shower. I mean, they'll be hot, right? So they'll actually enjoy being cooled down by the cool water. And then they can, themselves or somebody else can scrub them down with a scratchy sponge, or we could even set up a salt scrub thing. I don't care what we do, although salt water would have to go to a place that we just give over to that, which would be fine. I want to experiment with salt-tolerant plants anyway. Not really that it matters here, but what if you did have a place where 100 people lived, Or what if you lived on the coastline? Down there they have, what are those trees called? Pop quiz. Banyan trees? Mangroves? What's a banyan tree? It's mangroves. Mangrove swamps, saltwater swamps. Also, there was a plant I found down there on the coast that had, oh, and where's my draw down here? Oh, I do have a tiny draw, and that is that I have okay, this is on now, right? Yeah. Oh, it's not going to go on though, is it? If that was on, except it could be off outside. It's probably off outside. If it was off outside though, if this is the case, if I find out that switch is off, that means that I'm getting some kind of a load just off of some breakage in the wiring, which wouldn't be surprising. My wires are all buried. No, it's on. Okay. So, also now theoretically I could plug in that pump, and I have to stay here while it's plugged in so it doesn't overflow and waste water. We'll see if it actually works. Nothing actually works around here. Great. That worked. I hear water pouring in. Which means that it was low, which isn't that much of a surprise because I had somebody down here cleaning up a lot, and she uses a lot of water when she cleans because it's useful, I guess. So this is really good. It's working out. I may actually get a shower today. That's my pump, which is surprisingly the original pump that was here when I moved here. And I should look at it. And no, this is a 120 volt pump. And the one I want to replace up there at the lodge is a 12 volt pump. That's to get water out of my biggest cistern up to my gravity fed cistern. So, or Tinaco, I guess they're called. Oh, okay. It will be nice to change my shorts. I did change my shorts a couple times, I think. They were disgusting. And it's not like I couldn't shower in a smart way, right? I could have taken bucket showers easily. I'm just lazy, and I'm like a child. I don't like to take a shower. I like to take a bath or whatever. Just don't feel like it. A Still got to start an OnlyFans account or something. If nothing else, because people might sign up and pay me something just to not see me get naked. Because I'm not going to get naked for money. I don't think I'm really cute enough. And to be honest, even though I've known gay guys, I really don't understand why they like guys. I mean, got no problem with people being gay, but essentially I don't really get it. All right, in order to not lock myself out, I will leave this door open because being locked out would suck right now. Okay, so I still have to wait. I have to wait, I think, until that overflows. I've got full sun right now, like absolutely full sun, which I'm very excited about. So I will mention as an aside, it's almost March 21st now. I think it's 19th. Yeah. And two things are going to happen. One is that Google Street Side app is going to no longer let me make panoramic photos unless they delay the date, which they did once before. And there is no other app that does that. I looked, I couldn't find one. Not one that I can just point at dots and it assembles all for me. So I'm going to have to come up with some other solution to continue capturing panoramas of the entire forest. I want panoramas of everything so that I can see the forest change over time. I'm going to have those panoramas overlaid on each other. This is not to upload to Google Street View. It's for me, get away from this noise here. It's for me to be able to see the forest and the changes I've made and the seasons, and I can record like when mushrooms show up in a particular spot and what kind of mushrooms they are. So I could protect and enhance that spot. I could actually do experiments on different sides of a mushroom patch and, you know, dump sawdust on one part, which won't work. I've tried sawdust and mycelium before. It hasn't worked at all. Although it could with certain kinds. Actually, I could do turkey tail mushroom, tricolor, vari blah blah. So maybe I could have some success with that, but that's a different experiment. I'm thinking like the lobster mushrooms, the Amanita caesaria, which are called amarillos here. Those are edible. I don't think they're that great, but to be honest, I'm not that into eating mushrooms. I don't even care. I don't even care about eating in general. I don't care about harvesting. All I care about is the puzzle of making something grow. So, yeah. Anyway, so that would be what the panoramas are for. And I really have all sorts of cool thoughts about using a set of applications. It's going to have to be a set of them to both capture and also view that. That'd be like augmented reality, virtual reality. But you wouldn't need goggles or anything. I've never even seen a pair of those. I don't know anything about them. But you could use your phone and just scan around. And you could even see like to-do items. You could see plants get identified. You could see, you could scroll back in time and compare the current with the picture. Although in the bright sun, sometimes it's hard to see your phone. I don't know. That would be pretty stellar. And the other thing that happens March 21st is the equinox. And that's a very important time to walk around at sunrise and sunset. And again, the best thing to do would be to capture them. And actually, that's the last day of the Panorama app. So I could run around and try and find the places that get the first light of the day, the dawn light, and also the last light of the day. And having both of those in one spot during the equinox would mean that they get a lot of light all year long, as opposed to some places which don't get the late light because they're like a north-facing slope or west or east-facing slope. Well, I don't have any west-facing slope here. It's all slope towards the east, which is actually a great way to slope because that means I get the sunrise. And the sunrise is much more valuable light than the sunset as far as using it for heat. You understand why, right? Because the night just keeps getting colder and colder until the sun comes up. And so getting that first light of the day is far more valuable than the last light of the day. Also, you should get up in the morning and move. So having sunrise is more important than sunset in terms of energy use and architecture and stuff like that. I guess I should be not far away from that pump, because as soon as it overflows, I need to go and yank that power cord. And I already know I've got plenty of water in this tank here, because this hasn't been filled in forever. I've got tons of water. This whole porch here is all cistern. Yeah, that's almost full cistern right there. Also, this whole thing should be cleaned around here. This is disgusting. I drink this water. I need cleaner water systems. Normally, people buy water in jugs like this, but I don't like to do that for me. But once there's people here again, I will be doing that for sure. Like, for sure. And then I might drink it too. So far, I haven't gotten sick, and I've been drinking unfiltered rainwater forever. And then the other thing I could do, if I'm going to be buying it, is capture more rain and set up a water filtration system on site that is semi-professional grade. Well, why not just go? I mean, it would have to be high quality, and that would be a massive cost. I visited a small-scale one down in town, and they had big machines and stuff. It's really cool setup. And I did a video, but the machines were on, so you can't hear any of the explanation of the machines. I would have to go down there at a time when it was shut down and get an explanation of each stage, and that would be worth it. Now, I would have to have a whole town living here of people to have it be worth it here to build such a system. Or I could just build an entirely solar-powered still to produce water and then measure how much water comes off that. That would actually be really cool and fun. Here's my mannequin lady. People ask about that. They're like, what is that? Why do you have that? Or where'd it come from? And these kind of things, like it means anything. It means someone gave me a mannequin and I stuck it there. That's all it means. It has no meaning beyond that. I'm not going to climb up this ladder. Look at our great ladders. Isn't this great? That was built here. Beautiful ladder. It was built with wood that was milled here with a chainsaw mill. Ideally, though, nothing should be this awkward. I have lots of awkward retrofitted systems, and they're just terrible. And I hope that with anything new that I build, although I've already built things the wrong way in many cases, I hope that with anything new I build, that it will be built better, with better design. And that means I should draw it up really well, then have somebody draw it up better, and then have a bunch of smart people critique it and tell me what's wrong with it, and we fix it. And even then, we'll probably mess something up. But that'd be a good way to do it. All up in there, I want to bulldoze a way to get down to here. I want to bulldoze the sides wider. There's no pipes in there. There's no electrical cords buried. There is one buried over here up to the lodge. And I want to dig the sides out of this and then ultimately terrace it. But the last part of the terracing will come later by hand. And then push dirt far down here. And ultimately, I don't know, I guess I should leave that buried. Maybe raise it up. I bet that thing has water in it. I bet it still has water in it. But this should all be either gardens or building. And down from this building, I actually want to fill it in with dirt so you can walk right across this. And that's partly because this whole building here, I built this thing right here. I think I must have. Oh, right. The Tanako used to be here, and I raised it up to way up there. That's the tank. I built this thing, but you can see how this concrete is cracking right here. That's because this whole structure is slowly going downhill, which is just terrible. It's all going to fall apart. Over here, I've got a roof that wasn't built correctly, so it had a leak. and it's the beam right here is breaking, and I'm really surprised that it didn't fall down last year during the rainy season, and I need to fix that. It's fixable. You know, maybe I'll even build maybe posts for these things. No, those things aren't rotten. Probably just rip those beams out, replace them, but the problem is the whole thing was built too shallow, and there's not enough overlap between the pieces. Also, these kind of pieces of roof here break a lot, so they're stupid. And then this one has leaves all over it, so that's stupid because it's supposed to be transparent to let light in. It's just, roofs should not be built at this shallow an angle. Even here, there isn't even a snow issue here, but it's just still wrong. It's cheaper to do it this way. It's cheaper not to overlap it enough, but it's expensive if it's done wrong. And it's really hard to convince people who are trying to build things cheaply because they don't have a lot of money. And so they're trying to save me money, but then it gets built badly. So, whatever. Second world problems. Things are looking good out there, though. Forest is looking real good. Lots more undergrowth, lots more light. Not down in here so much. I haven't cut these pines down in here, which is fine because the sun goes up over them. And long term, this is not that important of a building. Right now, it's a very important building, but not long term. Look, there's some nice big oaks, nice big pines over there. I like this curvy pine right there. Anyway, so I don't know what I do down here to fill this in better. The problem is I've got that big tank down there. But that tank doesn't have to be there at all. In fact, higher up it would be better off. What I probably would do is just pull that tank out of there, have the bulldozer bulldoze as much dirt down this direction as possible, filling in up to that bamboo there, and then that would stop the building from going downhill and provide the ability to cross that area, bulldoze flat spots on that area as well. So it'd be a big flat area, really, which would be great to have right around here, and then replant a bunch of these bamboos in it if I want to, because this bamboo, the way we reproduce it is by burying the poles, and then each node puts down roots and then shoots up leaves if we're lucky. I could also, down here, I'm going to have a bulldozer go across down and below this and then fill in the bottom of this barranca. That's going to slow water flow down it. I mean, it's water flow into the ground. It's not like a river or a creek, but it's still, more moist. There's still water down there under the ground. And so what I'd be doing is trapping that more uphill and also clearing out a lot of area. We tried gardens down there quite a bit. Like hundreds of hours of work have gone into making layered gardens in here, most of which just grew over. It was too many pine needles. It was not enough attention. It's too hard to get in there. There's no good trail to in there. The trails we had grew over. We're busy doing other stuff. It's a whole list of excuses. And anyway, so I could fill in down there. And then it's also possible, there is a pipe that comes across the property that's not mine. It's a city water, actually, that I don't want to tap into, although I've been tempted many times. Anyway, but I could run a bulldozer to run some trails that go in and out of there, or somewhere probably connecting up with this flat spot somehow, but I don't know where. Maybe cutting across the slope on the top here, a notch into this ridge here, and then have, I don't know what. That's not even close to a priority. The only thing about this that's a priority right now is that it would be nice to keep this building from going downhill, from slowly sliding down the slope. This is opening up right here because it's really heavy cistern that I'm standing on. Well, there's worse problems people got in the world than that. People build their houses on cliffs by the ocean. I don't know why the fuck they do that. I don't think insurance companies should ever insure anything that's going to get flooded, that's going to be a problem. And it's so obvious what's going to be a problem in most places. Here it's very easy. I live in a place with very stable dirt. And even if there was 100-year rain, well, some shit would hit the fan. But not very badly, I don't think. And I'm doing things that are going to make it so that that's not a problem either. I've already done things. Like even where I've placed my roads, you know, they channel water so that it won't cause floods. But it's just not a risk, really. I don't know. That's an interesting thing to wonder about. And actually, I'm going to get a mapping done with a drone, water mapping. Well, part of the goal is to know exactly where water flows. I already know, and then I'll actually counteract that. I want to build some lakes, and if it ever was, you know, going to be really, really stormy, I could empty those lakes in preparation for the storm. You know, I could siphon the water out. I don't trust a buried valve or something like that. That's not going to work out. How long is this thing going to take to fill? This thing takes forever. Look, there's an old bee's nest up there. Old wasp nest or native bees of some kind. And it wasn't wasps. Wasps sting you. These were non-stinging bees. I like to see a lot of those around. This should not be in the sun. This is plastic. Plastic is never supposed to be in the sun. It's against the rules. I have hundreds and hundreds of rules I theoretically live by, but I don't even have time to follow them all. There's those ravens. I know where their nest is again. They moved it. They moved it after the forest fire a long time ago. And I didn't pay attention to where they moved to, but now I know. So maybe I should trap the dogs sometime and try and like have like a colored table. I don't know if they can see color, and put food on it for them, like their favorite food, or something shiny, and food. There they are. They're huge. And train them to do something. I don't know what, but supposedly they're like the smartest birds. I don't know if they're the smartest, but they're really smart. Yeah. And they have babies every year. And then the babies move away. Because they seem to be some kind of territorial animal. They're not like crows. Like where I come from, crows fly around in big, huge flocks. And here it doesn't work that way. Occasionally the crows will have a party. And they'll be like, you'll see them like 8 or 10 of them flying around for a day or two. And it's really cool. And they make a bunch of noise. I think it's a party for flirting and stuff. Hooking the kids up with some new action. Anyway, but that'd be cool to, I don't know, turn them to do anything. Just to even see them up close. Being able to see them up close would be a win. Right there. So. Oh. Alright, well I'm just killing time. I'm going to kill the camera here. I should have been timing how long it takes this tank to fill up. That'd be helpful to know. I've thought of that before, and I've done it. I've measured it. I've timed it. And I need to like write it on the wall. Paint it on the wall or something, because I forget. And of course then I would have to check and see how full it is, and it should never run out. That's the thing, is if it runs out, there's a little bit of junk in the bottom of the tank, and it could clog up the pipe. Yeah, I gotta get on top of this stuff, and I gotta have other people in charge of buildings. Absolutely important, because now I don't know, I can't walk away at all. Although I shouldn't. Anytime water's pumping, I think the person who's pumping water has to stay there. It's too easy to forget and wander off. And especially if there's other people here, every single liter of water matters a lot. I was going to say gallon because I'm a gringo, but whatever, that matters too. Yeah. All right, well, I'll just keep waiting. Starting to see droplets coming off of that. Oh, I see water. Water must be coming off the other side. Can't see up there from here. Oh, here we go. Ah. Yeah, okay, that's full. I'm going to yank it before it becomes a waterfall. Cool. Successful water. Yeah, I'm getting dripped on now. That was a while. I guess I could check this timestamp on these clips and figure out how long that took. I could, actually. My time is always set wrong, my time and date, because the battery doesn't retain those things very well. Good. Okay, well, that's one more step. That's cold water up there. The hot water always is full. You can't actually empty it unless it can't refill. No, you can't even empty it then because the hot water comes out of the top of the tank. All right, well, I'm going to censor this part where I actually try and take a shower. It's still a crappy shower head. I bought a new one, but the other one's low flow. And I do want to keep it as low flow because I don't want people to waste water. The other one I bought, I was desperate for a shower, so I bought this fancy big one with like 30 nozzles coming off of it and stuff, and I'm sure it's going to be a total waste of water. So therefore, it was a waste of money. Well, wish me luck. Yay. I feel much cleaner now. Much better. I weighed myself. I weigh 180 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall. I don't know what that means my BMI is, but I got a little bit extra weight on me. I could turn that into muscle mass. That'd be better. Here's my shower report. See that? That's definitely a clogged drain. And I was thinking about this idea of cutting that out of there. I don't know. I'm not sure where that tube comes out. It's worth it. But ultimately, I could build a whole nother shower outside and it'd be fine. I guess it'd be cheaper just to fix this one. That's fine. But I need to build a whole spa complex. I do have in here a really cool shower head that I got a while ago. It was clogged up for a while, but now it's not clogged. Sorry to you, Janine, the last guest to try and use it, I think. But it has on it this cool little knob thing where you can turn it off. That way, after you've got the temperature about right, you can turn it on and back off without turning the knobs off, and you don't lose your temperature as much. You'll still lose it a little bit because it cools off in the pipe, but that's a big water saver. The other thing I thought about is once I have a working shower, shower water should go into a 5-gallon bucket, and then especially if I have a spa complex, I could actually measure how much water a person used, and that would help them in doing water planning for their own life and saving water and stuff. That'd be cool. There's a lot of details with every part of life, and that's a lot of this experiment is trying to figure out, how to put all those details into play in a way so that you don't have to think about them as much as I do. Systematize them and then raise kids in that way so that that's just normal for them. What's normal now should not exist. I did use this little glove thing. It's like a scrapey glove, and that also helps get that dead skin off of me faster, which is great. Still though, any kind of shower like this is so far inferior to a sauna that it's crazy, Part of the year I could have hot tubs here. I could make an artificial hot springs. And I could even try and capture enough water to have that all year long. That would be, going into luxury territory. But I did see that somebody had designed a bathtub that was specifically designed to use less water. And that was a one-person tub. I was imagining 2-people hot tubs. And this one even had a cover on it. This one-person hot tub, you lay back in it. And it's curved and everything. And it actually had a cover, like a hot tub, so that you would cover it up to your neck so you could sit in hot water for a long time that way. I don't know if that's the best solution, but I was just imagining a two-person one where you sit and face each other, and the total amount of water in the actual tub was very, very low. Why is it so tiring to take a shower? I think the next one won't be as bad. First of all, that lake in there will go down, I hope, or it's going to get just gross with all my dead skin in it. And the floor was dirty to begin with. Well, we'll find out. But I need a solution. Before I have people here, I have to have a cleanliness solution. And I think that solution is going to come from it's going to come from a working good sauna. Maybe I could even take the sauna I have now. This is doable. I've been thinking about cutting down this oak tree out there anyway for quite some time. Although it's just really shady in here. But if I cut down this oak tree out here, then a lot more sunlight would hit this sauna. There's a sauna underneath this earth roof here. But this thing takes forever to heat up. That's been a problem forever. But if I was to put down below it, if I was to cut this oak tree here, maybe that pine over there, and then put a solar hot water heater down slope right in here, insulate the hell out of it, and have it come up into this sauna with this cool curtain of vines that have grown over it. It's just a nice, pleasant curtain of vines. Inside this sauna right here, it would be always pretty hot, right? And there's seats in there and everything. I don't want to go in there. And there's a firebox here, so you could kick it up to even hotter. But that would heat it up in a way that, I don't know. This whole sauna is so stupidly built that I hate retrofitting stuff. In this case, I built it. Here's my cold water shower. It has a mobile shower head. It's very, very smart to have this here. But the problem is I have to build this somewhere where there's sun and water. What could that be? You know, I could probably find a place closer to lodge. I don't know. Everything seems difficult. Just buy a house in town nearby and have people go over there to shower, but that's really a bad idea too. I don't want people going in and out of town. Seems like a lot of work too. I want something on site. All I need is water and sun. And I need the water so that you can have the cold water to shower to scrape off with. Well, I could make people haul their own water, because I can set up systems that force people to save water. That seems like it'd be a bright thing to do. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me while I take a shower. Sorry I didn't share any naughty bits, but, well, you know, I'm a little bit shy, I guess. And some things aren't any of your business. So, I'll catch you next time. I forgot. So I've got things theoretically shut down there. I didn't unplug the kitchen light. So there could actually be a load going on. I'm going to shut off the casita. This is going on and off, so there's a tiny load. Just barely enough to trigger it. I shut it off. Inverter doesn't come on. That's great. Okay. So I turn on internet. No, I turn off internet. Actually, that's a good test. There's nothing on up at that other building. That's a good thing. There shouldn't be anything on up that other building. Although I may have shut it off at the box up there. Okay, I'll turn on the lodge. It goes on. That's great. Because I've got one thing plugged in. I unplug the other. We'll make defeat be max. We'll make it be min. Okay, so even at max, it doesn't turn it off. Oh, it did. Holy mackerel, that's bad. So I'm going to turn it down until it's on, nice and solidly on. I'm going to turn it a little bit further. Now, I don't know, and this is a question for Xantrex, the company, with an X. Yeah, see, that still went off there. I want to, okay, so where's defeat? I'm going to go to defeat. I'm going to turn it a little bit up. I can't actually see it because I don't have my glasses. But I've had this thing running 24/7 for a long time. Because I usually want, to be able to turn on a light. Or I'm on my computer, or I want internet on, or something. And even at night, I want to be able to reach over and turn on a light. Although I'm very used to working with headlamps and stuff, I always have a headlamp with me at night. At least one. So, so that should be correct. So it shouldn't go off. The only question now is, did I turn the defeat down or up enough that I wouldn't, if I didn't have my computer running or charging, then can I still turn on an LED light bulb? Or would this go off? But the question is, does it really hurt it to be on 24/7? Is that actually bad? It's still working after 16 years of being mostly on. And it seems also like having a lot of types of machines go on and off a lot would be bad for them. It's kind of like the question of how long do you have to be stopped in your vehicle before it's worth it to turn off the engine? How much wear and tear is there? Is there wear and tear on the inverter turning on and then back off? I have no idea. But that's a good question for Xantrex. Oh, man. The key on the sauna is I don't want to use a pump for the hot water. And so it has to be on a south east facing slope. Yeah. So it heats up fast during the morning and day. And then I want a supplemental firebox on it. So I can kick it up to a higher level if I have to. It has to be a super insulated thermal mass. And then what I'll do is I'll hook up to that one large solar hot water heater, or unknown size solar hot water heater, evacuated tube solar hot water heater in particular, and I'll build it such that, let's see, everything's working now, right? Theoretically. And this shirt is disgusting. God, this shirt even looks dirty. And now I'm going to switch to the other side of my bed. I have a king-size bed, and I don't have any sheets for it. I mean, I have sheets, but I don't know which ones they are. And I hate dealing with that kind of crap. I don't even like king-size sheets. They're not rectangular. They should be rectangular. I mean, who the hell thought of California King and then King, and then had them both, they're different sizes, obviously, and then had them both be not rectangular. There should just be one kind of king-size bed. It should be rectangular, because you have to figure out which way the damn sheets go. Also, next time I ever have help and I have a little extra time here, we're going to pull all my sheets out, and I want them all divided up according to size, and I want them kept in completely different fucking locations. Because all the time, and this is because I'm not a fascist fuck, and I have to be, apparently, all the time stuff is, labeled as double and it's in one spot, but it's actually an individual, and then the sheets get separated from each other. And I don't know how hotels run, but I can guarantee you they don't put up with that shit. Everything has to be super organized, or like containers that don't have a top. That just drives me insane. Like, I buy containers, and it's a real cost. And I have a bunch of buildings, and I want to keep things clean in containers, and then tops and containers are in different spots. And you'll find even a container with the incorrect size top sitting on top of it. It's like, is someone just walking around being evil? That's what it makes me think of. Boy, taking a shower must have got some dirt off my head. so I can think clearer. Things cannot operate in a chaotic and stupid way. You know, maybe some people run their own lives that way. I do. But I can't run my life that way, and I can't let other people run my resources that way. I suspect intelligent people take care of their resources. Although I'm perfectly intelligent and I don't. All right, so where's my internet switch? I'll switch that on. I'm now charging the computer. That's good. Yeah, it's just really difficult to make everything work all the time and be the only dude responsible for it. And then have people who want to come play, and they think their very presence here is a magical contribution, but it's a major cost. So all systems must be functional, and all systems must have somebody in charge of them, and that person should not be me, because I'm overloaded and too irresponsible in general. Too messy a person. I just got too much shit to think about. Charge up my camera battery here. Oh, maybe I can finally relax. I'll look at my bed. That side of the bed over there, I've been sleeping on for over a year, and I don't have sheets. I'm not going to put sheets on it right now. I'm going to toss this crap to that side of the bed. Maybe change the pillowcase, or do I have another pillow? There's a pillow. I could find a pillowcase for it, maybe. Toss some other blankets on it and worry about sheets later. And I'll just move to this side of the bed. That sounds good to me. Keep it easy. But tomorrow maybe, or another day, I'm busy tomorrow. Another day I'm going to find sheets for this bed. I mean, I'm tempted to just to buy sheets, but I'm trying to keep costs down. And I own king-size sheets, but I don't know what bag they're in. And I'll have to figure out how to get them on there. That's not the hard part. Finding them is the hard part. I have to go through all these plastic garbage bags full of clean stuff that I paid to have cleaned, but I don't know what anything is. I guess I could pull them all out and then try all the sheets on, look for king sheets using that bed, which is cleaner. I'm going to spray this king-size bed down with something. I'm going to spray it with vinegar. Who knows, maybe I'll even sleep upstairs for a bit. And then I got to figure out all the sheets. I mean, there's so many sizes of beds, too, which annoys the hell out of me. It's my own fault. I have a lot of individual-sized beds. I've got double-sized beds. I've got queen-sized beds. I've got king-sized beds. And I think what I should do is just pick two of those. I should have king size and doubles. Although if you put, I don't know what I should do. I'm not even qualified to make these decisions. I don't know how to run a fucking hotel. I'm tired. Wish I had some beer or something. I got nothing. Cool. Well, at least I took care of that. As long as I switch sides of the bed tonight. Because if I sleep on the dirty side of the bed, I'll just get dirty again. And I'm not going to wait as long to take a shower. That was not that hard. I'll take a shower next week. Goodbye again.